Okay, this video is for my music theory class. The task for this Tuesday, reading page 148 through 151, talks about completing an interval chart, just a basic chart that's going to help you while you're reading small or large intervals based on the number of half steps that you have. So the first task was just to read through these couple of pages here from 148 all the way through 150 and then 151. And the part that we're going to focus on here is the half steps and the major and minor groups and then the perfect groups. All right. In the middle of the screen here I have my interval chart. It might look similar to the one that you have. And then I also have a virtual keyboard. That we have all of our pitches labeled here. So let's get started on just filling out this interval chart. Looking over here, what I'm reading is that 1/2 step equals a minor second. So number half steps 1. I'm just going to type in minor second. And the shorthand that they want you to use in some of the exercises on the following page, it asks for you to use MI, lowercase m, and then I for 2. So I'm just going to do MI2. It's probably going to... Okay. Now, just so you guys know, when there are no half steps, so there is no change in pitch from the bottommost note to the top note, that would be considered unison. So I'm just going to write unison in here, and the shorthand that we use is just U. Now, an interval that has 2 half steps is considered a major second. And the shorthand that we use is MA2. 3 half steps is identified as a minor third. I'm going to try to keep it so that these all stay. Undo MI3. Whatever. Okay. 4 half steps equals a major third. 5 half steps is a perfect fourth. And for that shorthand, we'll just write P4. 6 half steps is an augmented fourth. Diminished fifth. Or we can also call that a tritone. But we'll not worry about that for now. We just write P4 or diminished fifth. 7 half steps equals a perfect fifth. And for that, we just write P5. 8 half steps equals a minor sixth. M6. I'll also put an I there. 9 half steps equals a major sixth. 10 half steps equals a minor seventh. 11 half steps equals a major seventh. And then 12 half steps equals 1 octave. For that, we can just write oct. Okay, so now that we have this filled out, let's talk about how exactly this all relates to what we're doing on page 152, and then how we can work back and forth between the piano and the workbook. So I did the first 3 examples here, but let's say that we're working on this next example right here, where first we need to identify what the 2 pitches are. So our first pitch, we have to make sure that we're looking at the treble clef, and it's on the 3rd line, so it's a B. And then the top note is on the 3rd space with a sharp next to it, and the 3rd space is C. So we have an interval from B all the way to C sharp. Okay. Over on my piano, I'm going to look for the note B right here, and then I'm going to go up to the note C sharp, and then I'm going to count the half steps between it. So here's 1, 2. So when I have 2 half steps, that interval is identified as a major second. Right? And so all they want you to do on the paper is just write major second. Okay, using MA for major and MI for minor. The next one they have is C sharp to D. Over here, I have C sharp here and a C sharp here, and then a D here. So that's only an interval that contains 1 half step. So on my chart, when I have 1 half step, that's a minor second. Right? And so you go along your chart like that. What you need to make sure you're doing is that the note that you're starting on, let's say our bottom note is C, and then our top note is G, C does not count as the first step. That's still 0. Because like I said, if the pitch doesn't change, and we're just going from C to C like that, there are no half steps, and that's unison. Okay, so let's do an example of C to G. That's kind of hard to see there. Let's make that a little bit bigger. Okay. Let's turn that to, there we go. C to G. So here's my bottom note, and here's my top note. I need to count the number of half steps. So my first one isn't going to be C, it's going to be C sharp. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And so 7 half steps is considered a perfect fifth. Okay, let's do D to B. Bottom note D, top note B. I gotta count the half steps between. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if I have 9 half steps, that's considered a major sixth. And that's how you do your interval chart using a virtual piano or any other piano or any keyboard instrument, and then also how to look back on your worksheet.